Hey, beep.
Hey, whoa.
Sorry, Steve.
Oh, shit.
All right. Lock it down. Lock it down. Hey, B.
What's up?
How important is it first responders when they arrive? First arriving officers.
The utmost important. It is the most important.
Especially in a dynamic crime scene.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
It doesn't matter if they know if it's a police officer or just a normal citizen, right?
Yep.
Their first priority is what?
Scene safety, render aid to the victim, inner containment, outer containment.
Right.
Gather up the witnesses.
Right.
Put up the tape.
Okay.
Which we know Gallagher loves his tape.
Yep.
Get medical there.
Yep.
Call for resources, whatever you need.
Yep. And documentation.
Oh, well, that goes without saying. Yeah. We're cops. Everybody documents everything.
Okay, well, we're gonna find. We're gonna find out how they document it in Canton. Roll it, Steve. You like this?
First arriving officers.
Yeah.
Seraf Mullaney.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Officer Seraf. Good morning. Is there anything that you would like to change or amend or modify about your testimony yesterday that you thought about overnight?
No.
All right. Good.
Did you
Because I'm about to rip it apart.
Yeah, exactly.
person between the time you got off the stand yesterday and coming back to the courtroom?
No.
Officer Seraf, I want to ask you a question about, or a couple of questions about something called a dispatch log. You know what a dispatch log is?
Yes.
What is a dispatch log? Can you describe for the jurors?
Just notes saying what time calls come in and sometimes
log
a
of
short
dispatch.
synopsis
Yeah, right.
of what happened on the call.
It's an official document generated by the Canton Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
And it's kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
It's created at or near the time of the event that it's recording?
Yes.
And it's supposed to be accurate?
Yes.
Is that yes?
Yes.
See? Pause it for a second. Pause for a second. It's supposed to be accurate. He goes, yep. Yeah.
That's like that.
Right? So, a dispatch log is generated as a call is happening by the call taker.
Right.
Right? Anything you say on the radio
It's going to be
is
typed up.
updated.
Yep.
Anything that's coming in from the person that's calling is going to be updated. Right?
Yep.
So it shows when the dispatcher dispatches a police officer. Okay. For us, we had a en route button and an arrive button.
Yep.
Right? And FTEP, the Academy of Field Training, those were drilled into you.
Yep.
Hit en route, hit arrived. Right?
Correct. Yep.
If you're not next to your computer, en route or arrived on the radio.
Correct.
Right? That gives a timestamp of what you were doing, what the officers were doing.
Yeah, lets everybody know.
Right.
Everybody around. Like, say we're going to that call. He over the air. 3 Ocean 44, I'm arrived. Cool. All right. Now I know, where he's arrived, and I hit him back, hey, I'm 2 out or whatever.
Right. So those logs cannot be changed, right?
No.
They can be amended as far as an asterisk, officer said this, right? They can make the correction on the log, but they can't take anything away.
Once it's in CAD,
Yeah, it's locked in.
computer system, you're not changing anything.
So
Can't do it.
at the beginning, when he asked him what the dispatch log, he was struggling because he really didn't know. Action Jackson was feeding him the answers, right?
Yeah, he
There's
was.
supposed to be, just, directions and whatever. He goes, yep, that's correct.
Yep.
So, roll it, Steve.
As is the dispatch details of the event that's in question. Whatever officers show up, what time they show up, the order in which they show up, the location to which they're dispatched, things of that nature, correct?
Yes.
Where they post it up, if they're on a perimeter
looked at the
spot,
dispatch
they'll
log?
put that in there.
No, I have not.
May I approach you on it?
Yes.
This has been pre-marked as Exhibit 27. Take a glance at that and tell me if you recognize that document.
Yes, sir.
How do you recognize it?
It looks like the log in question.
Oh, okay, so that's the dispatch log for what date?
The 29th.
Do you see your name somewhere on that dispatch log?
call sign, name,
Yes.
call sign.
To the right, one of the 3 officers that was called to the scene.
Yes,
And that looks like the dispatch log for the call out that you were testifying about yesterday. Is that right?
that's correct.
May I approach you, Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish this as we
Yes.
discuss it? That is really small font. May I approach one more time?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not an eye contest.
That I would not.
I should say.
My eyes are getting terrible.
Oh, look at that. The magic of technology. All right. You can either look up on the screen or look at the dispatch log that's in front of you. I'll try to look at the one on the screen, but my eyes aren't that great either. If you look to the right, there appear to be 3 entries for the dispatch of the officers that were on the scene about which you testified yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, it has this dispatch log shows that you and then Officer Mullaney and then Sergeant Good all arrived to 32 Fairview that morning within 7 seconds of each other, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
It actually has Officer Mullaney arriving first at 6:09:26. You see that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
you see
Second
that
one.
it also has 3 seconds later at 6:09:29 you arriving. Is that right?
6:29 it says. Excuse me, it's 6:09, yes. you're
6:09
correct.
and 29 seconds.
Yes, I'm sorry, yep.
That's okay. And then it has Sergeant Good arriving 4 seconds after you at 6:09 and 33 seconds, correct?
Sure, yep.
So all 3 of you, according to the official document generated by Canton Police Department for this event, has Officer Mullaney arriving first, you arriving second, Sergeant Good arriving third, all within 7 seconds of each other, correct?
Correct.
That is completely false, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you've looked at your dispatch. I'm sorry. And clearly, we saw it yesterday. You arrive, and there's nobody else on
I
scene.
believed him. I really believed
That was
him.
at about, in fact, about 6:10 a.m. that you arrived, correct?
About that, yes.
And then Officer Mullaney actually arrives after you about 6:11 a.m. Is that right?
Yes.
And Sergeant Good does not arrive, according to your own dash cam, until about 6:16, a little after 6:15.
Yep.
All right. So right off the bat, the official Canton Police Department dispatch log, one of the first documents generated in any investigative event, that's completely wrong, right?
Pause that, Steve.
The times are, yes.
The very first form is false.
That can be explained, right?
Okay.
You guys arrive, nobody's arrived, hit the arrive button. You can say, hey, control, can you show 176?
175 and 593
arrived.
all arrived.
Right.
But then it would arrive at the same time.
Right. Well, that's
In
true.
CAD, it would say it would be arrived because we've done that before.
Yeah.
Dispatch is going to go boom, 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 and they'll dispatch is so fast. If she has to enter it one at a time, each
I
call
can see
sign
that.
and arrived, it would probably be 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That is a possibility.
It's a possibility, right?
But he said Sarge showed up 16 minutes later.
Right. But it could still be, show us all arrived 16 minutes later, right? It could.
Well, yeah, but she entered it at that time. So he couldn't have said it later. They can't change the time in CAD. So whenever he said it over the air or hit it on his computer, that's when it goes on into CAD. You cannot change it.
Yeah.
So that went in at 6:09.
Yeah.
Period. That is indisputable.
We're used to our systems. We don't know what
Right.
kind of systems they have.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
So a little bit of benefit of the doubt there.
I'll give it to him.
Okay.
16 minutes. But
Yeah.
Well, the time's
6
in the
seconds
order.
versus 16 minutes.
Yep.
Right? I mean, not only did Officer Mullaney not arrive first, you arrived first.
That's
And
correct.
then he arrived.
Sure.
So that's 2 things that are wrong about just that, correct?
Sure.
And then it has Sergeant Good arriving 4 seconds after you, which is also incorrect.
Yep.
He didn't arrive until about 6 or 7 minutes after you, right?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Have you reviewed this document in the past?
Yes? No.
You've never seen the dispatch log?
No.
Did you ever seek to make sure that the dispatch log that's so important and so vital in an investigation was actually accurate before it was turned over to the defense, for instance?
No, I didn't.
All right, but without that dispatch log, without your dash cam, we would be relying on your dispatch log to be true and accurate. Is that right?
Other than what I'm saying that would happen, correct.
And do you think it's accurate otherwise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not in order, no. It's not. Not in order, no.
Other than the
time.
order and the time that the officer's responding, is it correct in all other respects in your mind?
Can you rephrase?
Sure.
Say it one more time.
Let's take away the order and the time that the officers responded. Ignore that. Is the dispatch log otherwise accurate?
Yes.
Take a look at the left-hand column where it's highlighted in green. What's that address?
Yeah.
Highlighting green?
Yeah, that would be
On the
highlighted
screen,
in
it's
green.
highlighted.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I didn't see that.
I don't have the document.
That's okay. It says 32 Fairview.
Did you arrive to 32 Fairview Road?
No.
You arrived to 34 Fairview Road,
That's correct. Yep.
So that even the location on the dispatch log is faulty, is that right?
Sure, yep.
May I approach you on it?
Yes.
That should have been updated.
It should have been.
Updated, yeah.
Update our address, our location.
Yeah, dispatch can change it. Not change it, but they can update,
Update
it.
it.
It'll say update, and it'll have asterisks.
Testified
Address
at
is
grand jury
34
in
Fairview.
April of
Or
2022,
correct address.
Correct?
I did.
At that grand jury, do you remember telling the grand jurors what address you actually responded to?
The lights, please.
Don't recall. Probably what I said in the grand jury.
Refresh your recollection if you took a quick glance
Sure.
at a copy of your grand jury testimony. May I approach
You know,
you?
Yes.
I think every video we watch, there's sirens
Yeah.
going, dude.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Thank you.
Well, small town right there. Where are they holding court at?
Officer
here?
Seraf,
I
I've done
forget.
you the favor of highlighting a page on page 9. Where did you indicate to the grand jurors that you actually
It
arrived?
says 35 Fairview.
I know what it says. I'm asking if it refreshes your recollection that you actually testified under oath that you responded to 35 Fairview Road.
Yes.
And that is incorrect as well, isn't it?
Yes.
May I approach
He's
you?
batting 100. No, he's batting 100. He's sucking. Or is 100 pretty good? No.
Have you
400 is
reviewed
good.
any of the other officers' reports that relate to your dispatch out to the location that you've been testifying to?
No, I did not.
Did you ever review Sergeant Good's report?
No.
Are you aware that have you ever discussed with Sergeant Good that he wrote in his official report that you responded to 32 Fairview Road?
No.
And of course, we just talked about the fact that the dispatch log lists 32 Fairview Road and not 34 Fairview Road, correct?
Correct.
So none of the initial police reports, not the dispatch log, not your police report, apparently not Sergeant Good's, list 34 Fairview Road as the actual location where you responded that morning, correct?
As far as I know, yes. Yes, sir.
Was there an effort on your part or anybody else's, to your knowledge, to mask the actual address of Brian Albert's house as 34 Fairview Road?
No.
Whoa.
All those were just mistakes.
Yes.
That's a heck of a coincidence.
Yes.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Should have been corrected the
Contact
very first time.
Yep.
Victim
And
and the
never-
women that you described yesterday.
Need to be corrected again.
Did you see any evidence that any of the women had been engaged in life-saving measures?
Yes.
What did you see?
It appeared that Karen Reed was doing mouth-to-mouth on John O'Keefe.
You saw, I don't want to get too graphic, but you saw blood on her face?
Yes, I did.
You saw blood on his face?
That's correct.
You saw blood in her hair?
That's love.
You didn't notice
That's
that?
love.
I did notice that.
But certainly blood on her face from having engaged in some sort of CPR activity?
Yes.
Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, you said?
It looked like it, yes.
Okay. You also saw Carrie Roberts seemingly assisting with chest compressions, is that right?
I'm asking a question. Who's
Sorry?
They're all confused.
No, you can ask it. The question hasn't been asked yet.
Who was that?
Question.
Thank you, Your Honor. Did you also
I don't know. Who was that? Who was that masked lady?
assisting in chest compressions?
Isn't
I don't remember who exactly it was, but
she must be with the other lawyer?
did that somebody was
Lollipop.
Yeah.
What about
Purchase.
the third woman, Jennifer McCabe?
They were all around the body.
Did you see Jennifer McCabe ever engage with John O'Keefe as he lay on the ground and assist in any life-saving measures? Did you witness that?
I don't recall.
But you do recall my client engaged.
Yes.
You
think all three of them would have been around
Doing
him trying to help
something.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
True that Jennifer McCabe pulled you aside while my client and Carrie Roberts stayed with John O'Keefe and began engaging you in a conversation.
Yes,
And she was providing some sort of a narrative to you, correct?
correct.
While the other two women are trying to save John O'Keefe's life, she's
Starting
talking
the story.
For brief seconds, I would say.
for brief seconds.
Yes.
Whisper.
You saw the dash cam video. Was those several minutes on the dash cam video where she's standing and having a conversation with you? Are those the brief seconds? That
I don't know what time frame you're talking about, Tim.
right after you got
Well,
there.
let's see it.
Right after I got there.
Correct. Did you ever see Jennifer McCabe do anything physically to help John O'Keefe?
No, I didn't see anything.
She Googled how long to die.
House long to die.
To you during that brief seconds that you described, this narrative that she was having, this conversation she was having with you, did she ever offer the fact that she was standing in front of her sister's house?
No.
Did she ever offer the fact that her brother-in-law, who lives in the house, is a first responder?
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you apprised?
Pause that for a sec, Steve.
While
What do you think? Do you think that little bubble holds? Do you think he knew that he lived there?
You know, I don't know.
Can't be that big of a department, bro.
You know, yeah.
He's an all-star, right? He had his own TV show. Bryon did,
Yeah.
right?
You know, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss, right? Because look, let's say our squad, right? When we had our squad, there was 10 of us, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew where anybody lived. We knew the area, but I'd never been to your house. None of us have been to everybody's houses.
Right. But we are a huge department, though.
True. This is
Huge
small.
department.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say he probably had an idea. You know what I mean?
That would have been a good question. Do you know where Bryon lives?
Could have been, yeah.
Right.
Could have asked a lot of questions.
All right, Steve.
You know?
you were out there, that the homeowner was a first responder.
Objection.
Sustained.
Why is that sustained? Why is that a big deal?
Yeah.
Did you know it was a cop's house? What's the big deal?
Exactly.
Yeah. Not.
Based on your observations,
He probably did know.
Carrie and
Maybe he
Jennifer
did,
McCabe, which one of those women appeared to be more focused on trying to save John's life in the moment?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Between Karen Reed and Jennifer McCabe, which one of those two women, based on your observations, appeared to you to be more focused on physically trying to save John O'Keefe's life in the moment?
At that point, it was Karen Reed.
You would agree with me, Officer Seraf, that in any investigation, details matter, accuracy matters, correct?
Sure.
Reports are written in police investigations in order to memorialize observations, things heard, seen, experienced by the officers, correct?
Yes.
And generally speaking, you're trained to write those reports and memorialize those observations as quickly as possible so that things are fresh in your memory.
Correct.
You don't want to write a report about an incident that you respond to today, 2 years from now.
No.
As a matter of fact, you're trained exactly the opposite. When you respond to a scene, it's somewhat important, you need to get it down on paper as quickly as possible for detail and accuracy, right?
Yes.
You did, in fact, write a report, a supplemental report for this investigation where you laid out your observations of that morning, correct?
That's correct.
He's a rookie, right?
No.
These are called incident.
Mullaney's a rookie.
Mullaney's
Yes.
a rookie.
I was gonna say, he don't look like a rookie, but you never know.
I'm holding what appears to be a multi-page document that is entitled an incident report. May I approach?
Yes.
ICR for us.
Yeah.
Take a look at the tabbed page and tell me if you recognize what's on that page.
I'm sorry.
Do you recognize that? All I'm asking you is, do you
Yes.
recognize that as your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Did you write that?
Yes, sir.
When did you write that?
I believe the morning of.
So that would be January 29th,
That's correct.
a little bit later in the morning after you left the scene.
Yes.
And you were reflecting back on what had just happened minutes or hours before, correct?
Yep.
And you were trying to be as truthful as possible, correct?
Yes.
You were trying to be as accurate as possible,
Yes.
as comprehensive as possible,
Yes.
and as thorough as possible.
Yes.
You wrote in that report, quote, Karen Reed kept screaming, "Is he dead? Is he dead?" She was severely distraught and not able to tell me what happened. Correct?
That's correct.
May I approach?
Yes.
Pretty sure Jackson's going to say, those 4 things I listed, none of them are in here.
Hey, Steve, pause it for 1 sec, Steve.
The amount of words that you could put on.
So maybe we're spoiled. I don't know what their computer systems are in their vehicle, but I never completed a report when I went back to the station. It was always done at my vehicle, at the scene.
Yeah, I did the same thing, yeah.
Just because you don't want to lose any information.
Yeah.
Right? And you have other resources. Hey, what did she say, Bryon? Or do you have any information that I can put on my report, right? It's a unified report, right?
Yeah.
You gather the resources that you have out there that's been deployed for that scene, because you might have seen something that I didn't see. Hey,
Right.
Gonzo, this is what I saw.
Right.
You might want to write this down, or put it on the comments below.
Yep.
Right? So everything is done at the scene. There's no 2 or 3 hours later. The only time you would go to the station maybe is to do the declaration of arrest and
Or impound.
impound stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right. But everything is done in your office. And where's your office?
Your car.
Your car.
I'm thinking because they're so small, they're not busy, right? So that's why he was like, oh, I'll finish it later.
Yeah,
They probably
cool.
didn't have calls pending like us. We always had calls pending, meaning as soon as you clear, dispatch sees you clear, 344 copy call, and you're like, ugh. So, and you do that all night. So if you don't have the report done, we would get sent to another call. Yeah. Now you're mixing that, and I've done it. I've tried to do that as a rookie, and now you go to 12, 15 different calls in a night. At the end of the night,
6
you're
reports.
like, oh, what happened in this one? And you get them confused. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I learned finish everything before you leave.
Yep.
When I hit clear, all my stuff's away. I'm ready to go back to work to the next call. I don't even have to think about that report I just did. Right? That's the way we do it.
And the fact is that in policy, you have to have every report done by the end of the shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So better to just get it done. But I'm assuming that's why he went back there, because they're a slower department. You know. Plus it's 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning.
All right.
On the page, correct?
No.
Matter of fact, there's a ton of white space. It's left unutilized, right?
That's correct.
You could have taken as much time as you wanted to in writing this report. Is that right?
Sure.
And is that yes?
Yes.
There was no reason to abbreviate anything. Is that right?
No.
And you tried to be as accurate as you possibly could in that moment
Yes.
and put everything down in that report that reflected what you experienced and what you observed and what you heard that morning, correct?
Yes.
There he is. Typing away.
And the only statement you attribute to my client on that morning, just hours after the incident or minutes after the incident, was she kept repeating, "Is he dead?" Correct?
Yes.
What about everything else she did?
You were interviewed by Michael Proctor the next day, weren't you?
I don't know what day it was, but I think it
Would it
was.
refresh your recollection to take a look at?
He's ready, dude. Actually, Jackson's ready.
How can you not remember the next day?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And for a dead body report, an officer report, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That report that's dated March 15, but
That would stay.
Interview on January 30, and then tell me if you recognize it.
Yeah, it's only one paragraph there.
This is what you're going to say.
Looks like he's.
Rip this page off, burn it.
That's Trooper Proctor's report of an interview that he did with you, correct?
Yes.
And if you look on the second page, paragraph about what you stated to Trooper Proctor.
That's highlighted? Is
I highlighted it for you, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Did
look
you
at it. It's a
tell
paragraph, dude.
Proctor-
It's a hot potato.
a different way.
That's a hot potato right there, son.
Thorough and comprehensive with Trooper Proctor as you were in your own report.
Yes.
You weren't holding anything back in that interview, correct?
No.
You wanted to be as truthful and as honest as you possibly could?
Yep.
And as comprehensive as you possibly could, correct?
Yes.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You told Trooper Proctor that you could, quote, hear Karen Reed continually state, "Is he dead?" as the paramedics treated the victim. Officer
Nothing wrong with
Seraf
that.
then seated Karen inside her friend's vehicle, correct?
Correct.
So the only statement you attributed to my client the day after this incident was those 3 words, "Is he dead?" that she continually repeated. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. May I approach?
Yes.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. And there's nothing wrong with her asking, is he dead?
Yeah.
You want to know if the guy you love is dead or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay to ask. That
Human
doesn't
nature,
mean,
bro.
It doesn't mean you killed him.
Yeah.
It's just, is he dead? I want to know. You want to know.
In the 2 times that you were asked to reflect back on exactly what happened that morning, on January 29th and January 30th, both times you attributed only 3 words to my client having been repeated continually in her distraught state. Is he dead? Right?
Yes.
And she wasn't saying that calmly, I'm assuming.
No.
Matter of fact, you used the word she was severely distraught. Is that right?
That's correct.
When you say severely distraught, we saw part of that on your dash cam. She was emotional,
Yes.
upset,
Yes.
focused on John,
Yes.
trying to save his life,
Yes.
and asking, what was the question that she asked?
Is he dead?
Over and over and over, correct?
Why didn't you put all that in there? She was trying to save his life. Mm-hmm. That's not important.
Then you were asked to testify in April of 2022, April 14th of 2022, at a state-run grand jury by the Commonwealth.
Yes.
Matter of fact, Mr. Lally was the fine prosecutor who was asking you the questions, correct?
Yes.
Between the time you wrote your report on January 29th and you gave a statement officially on January 30th, between that time and when you testified in April of 2022, do you have any meetings with anybody from the Massachusetts State Police?
No.
Do you have any meetings with Mr. Lally?
No.
Did Mr. Lally put you on the stand without talking to you first?
No. For this trial?
Nope. I'm just, the dates in question are up to April 14th, 2022, at grand jury.
Pay attention, dude.
I don't recall.
You don't recall if you met with either Mr. Lally or any of his contemporaries to discuss
you see a
your
pattern?
potential testimony?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Everybody that's on the stand is an
He's an
idiot.
idiot.
I'll meeting with him for that. No. One time I met with him in his office was a couple of weeks ago with this.
In preparation for this testimony.
Correct.
But your testimony now is that he didn't meet with you or you did not connect with him to discuss your testimony before the April grand jury?
I don't recall.
When you did testify in that grand jury,
He did.
Steve, go on pause for a second.
You don't go to grand jury and not talk to the lawyers.
What 2 courts do we usually go to as police officers? What 2 courts do we mainly go to? Justice and district,
Yeah.
right? When you get summoned to one of these big, you will remember. You will remember it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or the grand jury.
Or the grand jury, right?
Yeah. You see the lawyer before all of those.
Yeah.
You have to.
And the thing is listen, I was on the job for 20 years, right? I would still get nervous with.
You all right over there, Steve? Okay.
I would still get nervous going to court, right?
Yeah.
And it stuck to me. I still remember some of the big ones that I went to, right?
Yeah. I think how many times did you go to district court?
4 times.
Okay. So in 20 years, 4.
Yep.
I think in 22 years, I think about 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
That's it. So you remember.
Yeah.
You're right. It's you don't go that often. I mean, we go to justice court all the time for domestics, all the stupid
Misdemeanor stuff,
misdemeanor stuff. You go to that a couple times a month.
Yep. Yep.
But the big ones, yeah, you remember.
Those are big
and the
cases.
grand juries, I've been to 3 grand juries.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I've only to one.
And they're all for shootings. So, you know, you're going to talk to the lawyer.
Yep. Yep.
You changed your story, didn't you?
No?
You believe you testified completely consistently at that grand jury as you had in your report?
I testified for what I remember what happened, sir.
I see. Was your memory better in April than it was minutes or hours after the event?
Was it better?
Was it better or worse?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think your memory gets better as time goes on?
Not usually, no.
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 Usually it's the opposite, isn't it?
Yes.
Memories get foggy, they fade.
Yes.
Which is why you write reports the day of the incident.
Thank
if
you.
You can, correct?
Yes.
Imagine a natural supplement that can actually help you think better. It's ginkgo, shown in tests to help improve your memory.
We should all get that.
Now that's the big idea.
This guy definitely needs it. He needs some ginkgo biloba.
It's right there. Ginkgo biloba.
Do you remember what you testified to at the grand jury?
Hey, yo, it's ginkgo.
Yo, Adrian, give me the ginkgo.
The whole thing?
No, sorry, that was a bad question on my part. Just as it relates to statements attributed to my client,
Yes.
what was your exact testimony in April of 2022?
I'd have to look at my.
Would it refresh your recollection if you saw a copy of your
Sure.
grand jury
Your
transcript?
2 sentences.
Yes.
Here's your paragraph.
I would just leave my Rolodex right there. So, number 3. Look at that.
Hey, we got a dead body, and he's got a paragraph.
Let me know once you remember, once you review that and tell me if that refreshes your recollection.
Yes, it does.
Details,
In fact,
people.
On April 14th, 2022, months after this event, for the first time, you said, quote, and these are your words, tell me if I get them right. She, you know, this is my fault. I don't know. She said, you know, I can't believe this happened. I mean, she kept asking if he was going to die, if he's dead. And, you know, I just basically said, you know, we're doing the best that we could, end quote.
That's correct.
May I approach?
Yes.
That's what he said? That's what he said?
You gotta be. Get ready with that bleep button. You fucking kidding me?
So in April 2022, for the first time, you attributed the phrase,
Like a 5-year-old wrote that.
I can't believe this happened, to my client, correct?
That's correct.
But nowhere in your official report did you say that.
That's correct.
And nowhere in your interview with Trooper Proctor the next day did you say that.
That's correct.
You think that was a pretty important omission on your part?
It was an oversight.
It was a lie.
You serious?
An oversight.
Yes, sir.
That a woman whom you made contact with, standing over the body of a fallen police officer, said to you, "This is my fault." Just missed that one.
Steve, pause it.
Yeah.
Yes. I missed it.
What do we depend on when we're at a crime scene and possible suspect, unknown, has these spontaneous utterances? Those are important, right?
Yeah.
You write those down. Right then and there, she said this. And even you can write down the time.
I always did.
Right?
I always did.
If that was a spontaneous utterance, he should have wrote it down.
He didn't write shit down.
What?
She said you know. Fuck, dude.
Listen.
This is a grown-ass man, an officer who just did a report over a dead officer, and that was his sentence.
That's his verbiage.
That is appalling.
Yeah. He strikes me as a guy that everybody probably likes, but don't respect. You know, because he sounds like a friendly guy, you know,
Give a shit if he's friendly or not.
right? But
Do your
his
job.
cop work, exactly. His cop
your
work is
job,
lacking.
man. Yeah,
lacking.
What the hell? Who trains these guys?
Well, the same guy that trained Trooper Paul. Roll it, Steve-O.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
This is embarrassing. And he's lying.
Yep, trying to keep his cool.
Because he's lying. He knows he's lying.
Yep.
Proctor told him to say that shit, and that's what he's saying.
Yep.
That's why his story changed. Bullshit. He's lying his ass off.
Changed again, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It was a butt dial.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote it down. Let's see if this helps. Yesterday you said, that my client said, quote, "It's all my fault. I did this," end quote.
Yes.
Remember that? Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't say that at the grand jury,
No.
and you didn't say that to Trooper Proctor,
No, sir.
and you didn't put it in your report.
That's correct.
It's not in the report.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Everything you said after that is almost irrelevant.
Weeks. You think her statement would just keep evolving?
Objection.
Sustained.
I think he's getting red. Yes, sir, you are turning red.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now I want to shift gears for a second and talk about what Ms. Reed actually said that morning. You said that you reviewed your dash cam video, correct?
Once.
Do you remember when you arrived, one of the first things out of your mouth was the question, what happened?
Yes.
That would be a natural question to
Sure.
ask.
Yep.
Trying to assess the scene and assess the situation.
Absolutely.
And
What do
you
we
were gonna
got?
listen closely to what that answer was, correct?
Sure.
Yep.
Ms. Reed did in fact answer you, didn't she?
I don't recall what she said.
Of course not.
She said, quote, "My boyfriend, I left him and he never came home," end quote. Correct?
I don't know. I don't recall.
You agree, we've already agreed, that details matter in any investigation.
Absolutely.
They certainly matter in this investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they do.
He's finding that now. He's finding that out now.
Yep, when you lose your job or you go to
I'd like to
jail.
Take a look at what's been pre-marked as Exhibit 26.
Hey, pause for one second,
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah.
Listen, we have a really good benefit of having body cameras on our shoulders,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we have the app that we can actually review the video. We can't make any changes,
No,
right?
no.
But we can review that video.
Yep.
And I've done it before to make sure that whatever they said, I have it correctly.
Right, because
Right.
we'll actually write in quotes what the person said. Like, we'll put the quotations.
Oh, is that what those are for?
Yeah, that's what they're for. So we'll put it in quotations. They said this, word for word. Every curse, every bad word, anything they say, we say it. And that way the judge, everybody can see it.
Yep. And you can even put in it the very animated as she was saying this, or he was saying it, right?
Yeah, the fact that he didn't forget. Let's just be real.
His first initial report is probably 100% accurate. As little as it is, right? Right?
I can't even call that a report.
And then it got tainted.
Yeah, his little version, his little view of what happened, right? His little paragraph is I mean, this is all he's worth. He can't give more. This is what he's worth. He's
worth
worth
a
about
paragraph.
$150 an hour. So he's probably making $600,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we are pretty spoiled that we have pretty good technology.
We are.
And
they could have technology too.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought every police department in the country has body cams now. It's 2024.
Yeah.
Soon to be 2025. I mean, come on, catch up.
Yeah, I just don't get it, dude.
But he is straight up lying. He's straight up lying.
100%.
Yeah, he's straight up lying. And we know it. He knows it. Jackson knows it. Bev knows it. We all know it.
And the thing is you can tell they're lying because they're stuttering and they're having a hard time with their answers.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. You can't just say, "Oh, I don't remember," or "I don't recall."
You do.
I mean, you're a cop. You do remember.
Yep.
And you're talking about putting a girl in prison for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Who didn't do it?
Yeah. Let me say this to you, Bryon, and this is gonna hit home to you, okay? When you drive past a certain business or address that you responded to a call there, you can recall that event. You can recall that event pretty detailed.
When I'm driving around with my wife and kids, they get annoyed because I'll be like,
Yep, been there.
13 years ago, I got in a fight with a guy right behind that 7-Eleven.
Yep. Yep.
You know, 8 years ago, I got into a fight at this apartment complex, apartment 2137.
Yeah.
We remember everything.
I do the exact same thing.
Cops are very good because maybe it's because of our job.
We suck with names, but
Yeah,
faces.
but faces, places. Like I've never been to a house that I didn't recognize right off the bat.
Yep.
I mean, as soon as I saw the address pop up, boom,
Yep.
I've been there.
Yep.
I've been there.
Yep.
People that we've seen. I even had a guy on a call. It was probably over a year and a half. We would go to the same houses for domestics, and this guy was like, I said, I remember you, and I remember you. I've been here before. And the guy was like,
And you tell
yeah,
them what
we
to call
did.
it.
We
Yep.
did. And I go, yeah, I remember you overcooked the eggs, the wife, and you got mad and you threw a fork and hit her in the face because she overcooked the eggs and she didn't put cheese and tomatoes on it. And he was like, you remember all that? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I do, bro.
Mm-hmm. You don't need that ginkgo biloba yet.
I don't need the ginkgo balboa stuff. Well, no, I need it now.
I know. Back then we
Back
didn't.
then I
We were
did.
sharp as a tack,
I
son.
was sharp, man. I was sharp.
Yeah.
Now I'm like a
Dull.
ball
Butter
of
knife.
putty.
Oh, we missed that. Rewind that. Rewind that.
He sees them. He sees them. Well, I mean, he's a big boy. He eats many meals.
His blood
so.
sugar's low, man. That's why he's having a hard time.
Yeah, he ain't no rookie with a belly like that.
This is about the 3:50 run time. I'm not looking at the actual.
They're gonna show his body cam or a dash cam?
The actual
Dash cam.
time of day. Over here, I'm looking at the run time, which is down at the bottom. So if Mr. Bates, you could put this at about 3:50 mark. Can you pause it? Just to orient everybody, does this appear to be your dash cam?
Yes, sir?
Same dash cam you were looking at yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and play it, Mr. Bates.
Okay. They don't have body cameras, but they should be able to get windshield wipers at work.
They don't have body cams, but they have the worst dash cams I've ever fucking seen. These are like the ones that they hunt Bigfoot with.
Officer Seraf,
You can't see anything.
it's not an eye exam, it's not a hearing exam either. I'm gonna do the best I can to raise
Yeah.
the volume. And Officer Seraf, I want to focus your attention.
Can we clean that window?
Yeah.
On 9 seconds after you say what happened. Just count in your head and listen very, very carefully to the woman's voice that responds and what she says. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nothing.
Very, very hard
counted.
to hear. Have you listened to that
Yeah,
before?
very hard to hear.
Yeah.
Does it appear to you that she said, my boyfriend, I left him and he never came home?
I couldn't understand anything.
Okay.
Well, that courtroom probably echoes a lot. So.
Well, he shouldn't have to play this. It should be written down in his notebook and on his report.
Yeah.
That's the first thing she said. The first thing she said to you, you couldn't write it down? Moron. Jeez.
Volume up one more time right at that moment. Listen for a woman's voice just under. Sorry, I was asking Officer Seraf, please listen to, there's a din of noise, obviously, road noise, wind noise, etc. It's your dash cam, the audio from your dash cam. Once you close the door, listen very carefully about 9 seconds after you say what happened for a woman's voice and see if you can make out what that voice says.
Sure.
One more time.
I can hear him say what happened, but that's it.
Stop.
You can hear it sounds like someone's like in distress.
But
But
he never came home.
Oh.
Yeah, I
I
can't
couldn't
hear that.
understand what they were saying.
You couldn't understand that?
No.
Do you want to hear it one more time?
No.
I don't think it.
No. Turn the lights on, please.
No. Because she heard it. She's like, oh, shit. No. No.
If my client had said, my boyfriend, I left him and he never came home, would that be something that you would find important to put in your report?
Objection.
Sustained.
How is that sustained? Pause that.
Move to another.
Pause that.
Hey, he's our friend. Be nice to Steve.
How is that sustained? That is the most important question of the fucking day.
Yep. 110%.
Because the next question out of my mouth, you say to me, I left my boyfriend here and he never came home. Where did you leave him? That house, 34 Fairview. Thank you very much. Gonzo, go knock on that door, buddy. I need to find out what happened inside that house. I'll stay out here with the scene. See how simple that is? Just like that.
And that house would have been frozen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'd be knocking on that door. I would knock on that door for 10 hours until they came out. And I'm dead serious. You got a dead guy in your front yard, a dead officer. You are answering that door. We are not leaving until I get into that house.
Yep.
That is unbelievable.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to keep playing it at the 28-minute mark, 28-minute and 20-second mark or so.
So can I see counsel at sidebar for just a minute, please?
Do you recognize your dash cam video being on the left of the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you looked at Sergeant Good's dash cam video, which is squared up on the right side of the screen?
No.
You've never seen it?
No.
Okay. Does it appear to you that these are two different perspectives of the same scene? In other words, you see the car or the SUV on the left side of the screen right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
You see that same SUV
Is that snow?
right there?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Is that snow?
It looks like we're in the Millennium Falcon about to go light speed. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think of. I don't think of snow when I see that. I think Star Wars.
Attention to the individuals
Oh, okay. Now you
to
can
the
see people.
left of the SUV right here. There's a person wearing a hood with fur on it. Is that Kerry Roberts? To your memory?
I don't know.
Okay. There appears to be another person with a darker jacket standing just in front of that person with the hood and fur. You see that person?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to focus on the person in the darker jacket.
That's her arm and her shoulder is what you can see.
I believe, and the only reason I'm asking you to focus at this point is because I want to try to play this just once and see if you recognize what's depicted in the video.
Sure.
What I expect you may see is this person move out of sight behind the SUV, and then in the background, there's an SUV parked in the driveway. Pay special attention to that portion of the SUV and see if you see that person in the dark jacket pass from right to left in front of that SUV as if they're going to the house. Let's go ahead and play it.
She's walking now. Watch right over here. Right there, watch.
Have you seen the person in the dark jacket?
Watch that snowbank right there, that little snowbank.
Yes.
Did she appear to go behind the SUV?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and stop track. And now I'm going to ask you to draw your attention to
right
that
there. Right
car
there.
with snow on it. Pay special attention to that car as the film continues to run. Go ahead. Pause.
Oh, I see her.
Yep.
I see her.
Yep.
And I'm blind, and I see her.
Yes.
Walking from right to left.
Yes.
Would that be
Yeah,
toward?
going up the driveway. Yeah.
Whose house?
Yes, it would be.
Brian Alberts.
And also, if you wouldn't mind switching your perspective, now you're looking more at the front of the house. Continue watching the film and see if you see that same person walking toward the house. Stop. Did you see that?
Bam. Oh.
No, I didn't see. Oh, yeah. Yes. I saw the shadow, yes.
Right. See, I know a person
Yes.
walking toward the front of the
Smoking gun.
That was Jennifer McCabe going into the house, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
Was it a person going
Yeah,
into
you
the
did.
house?
It was a person, yes.
Did you give anybody any permission to go into the house?
To leave
No,
the scene?
not my own.
Would you think that a witness in a homicide scene, we can go ahead and
Yeah.
raise the lights. Thank you. Would you think
No
that
big
a
deal.
witness at a homicide scene being allowed to go into a house to make contact with other witnesses?
I didn't know it was a homicide scene, sir.
If I could finish
a
my
dead guy.
question.
In the
Do you
drive,
think
in
it's
the front yard.
appropriate for a witness at a
Treat it as a
potential
homicide.
scene, an unconscious person scene, whatever, crime scene,
Yes.
to make contact with other witnesses and begin discussing the situation unsupervised?
Can you rephrase that question, sir?
Do you think that's an
Let's pretend you're a cop for 2 fucking seconds.
I have no answer for that, sir. I don't know what you're asking.
Officer Seraf, when you go to a crime scene,
Yes, sir.
one of the first things that you'd want to do is secure the scene and separate witnesses so that
Yeah.
interviews
Come on,
can
man.
be conducted, correct?
Sure.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want witnesses just cavorting together and getting their story straight, right?
Correct.
You'd want to.
What if that was the murderer walking into the house, dude?
So they can't collaborate their story.
Yet there was a woman, there was a person walking
Yeah.
from the area where a body was found in the lawn of a house, walking into the house to make contact with other individuals, correct?
It appeared that way, yes, sir.
Does that seem appropriate to you?
No.
Of course not.
You got that one right. Pause it for a second.
Pause
Steve.
that. This dude is so bad. So bad. So bad. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot.
Wow, dude.
You know what? Like, if I responded to this, my first sentence would be, I, Officer B. Benitsky, P number 6541, working as Mark Patrol Unit 3 Ocean 44, responded to a possible dead body call at 34 Fairview Lane. Upon arriving, I made contact. I would probably say upon arriving, it was very snowy, the climate, whatever. Upon arriving, made contact with a white female adult, later identified as Karen Reed, date of birth, blah, blah, blah. Also made contact with the WFA, later identified as Jen McCabe, blah, blah, blah. Karen Reed stated, right? Jen McCabe stated, we always say, Reed, we always use last name, so it would say Reed stated, boom.
Yep.
I left him here and he never came home.
Yep.
Like, that would have been right in the beginning of
The
my
thing is,
report.
too, Bryon, let
you know what I mean?
me interrupt. You and I arrive there and we see this guy that's beat to a freaking pulp, right?
Yeah.
3 women couldn't do that to him.
No.
Right?
No.
Next question is, what happened to him?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Start getting stories. You can do whatever life-saving measures you can, right?
Right.
But first responder, the AMR or whoever's going to be there, they're going to take care of that scene, right?
Yep.
But that's when you start isolating these 3 girls.
Yeah.
Go sit in my car. Gonzo, go sit with her,
Yep.
right? Sarge, go sit with this one.
Yep.
I got carried.
And that's why you're going to need a lot of cops.
Yep.
Every witness needs a cop. So
Yep.
if you have 10 witnesses, you're going to probably need 10 cops.
Right.
Sucks, but you got to sit with them, man. You got to sit with them and
And
get
you
them
have
on
to
paper quick. Hey,
voluntary
write this
statement.
down. Write down what you saw, everything, from
Yep.
start to finish. Tell it like a story. Be very detailed. That's what I would tell everybody. Just tell it from A to Z, a story as if you were watching a movie or reading a
Yep.
book. Be very detailed.
Yep.
Now, once you get it back and they sign it, now you have them, okay, this is what happened. Then you interview them, right? And this guy, did he respond? Barely. Evaluate? No. Did he
No.
secure? No. Did
No.
he protect? No. Did he observe? Not really. Did he notify? Document? No.
No.
This dude, he got to the call.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yep.
All right, Stephen.
We've talked a bit about what you did and didn't hear at the scene from my client. At any point when you were at that location, did you hear my client repeating the phrase, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him?
She said I hit him? No, I didn't hear that part.
You never heard her whisper it,
Later.
yell it, say it, or otherwise?
Not that I recall.
We'll get it off here. What'd he say?
Yes.
No, he wouldn't have. He would have written it down.
You didn't write down the first thing she fucking said to you, dude.
You likely would have mentioned
Feed me that bullshit.
testimony, correct?
Yes.
And you did none of those things because you did not hear that statement, correct?
I did not hear that, no.
Sir, you were at 34 Fairview for more than an hour before you cleared the scene, right?
Yes, sir.
You were at the location of the body of John O'Keefe.
Yes.
In other words, you just didn't stay in your cruiser. You walked out to where John O'Keefe was.
No, I was in my cruiser at,
No, I didn't get out.
You didn't just stay in your cruiser. At points, you got out of your cruiser, walked over, made contact with the women, and you were standing next to the body.
yes,
And you were obviously looking around. You noticed some footprints,
yes,
and you even noticed some lack of footprints.
that's correct.
So you were being observant at the area of the body
Yes,
and the area adjacent to the body.
yes,
You were looking for anything that might have been out of place,
yes,
anything of any evidentiary value, correct?
yes,
You never saw or otherwise observed or located a single piece of taillight material, did you?
no,
You certainly didn't see 45 pieces of broken plastic or taillight material, did you?
no,
You never located or otherwise observed John O'Keefe's missing shoe
no,
or any other clothing of his.
I didn't, no,
Officer Seraf, did you ever think to look
See the body?
inside the house
no,
for that missing shoe?
no,
That never crossed your mind?
no,
You think that might have been a smart thing to do at the time?
Objection, Your Honor.
Rephrase the question.
No, because you're borderline.
Because it wasn't smart.
Protocol when dealing with a body laying on a lawn that is partially unclothed to look inside the house of the lawn.
no,
You didn't think that would have been an appropriate protocol
no,
for you or anybody else?
no,
Well, there you go.
I know.
Not conduct a
done.
search of that house, did you?
nope,
Piece of cake.
And
Wow.
you're aware that to this day, no law enforcement officer ever conducted a search of that house.
I'm not aware of that.
You're aware of that. Because that was the plan the whole time. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows he's screwed too. He knows he's like, this shit's falling apart. Like, fuck. We're gonna be toast after this.
Pause it, Steve. One
We're
second.
gonna be toast.
Okay. So that was
Sarah.
Seraf that responded to that call,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Barely.
Work was pitiful.
Horrible. Yeah.
0 donuts for that
Does he
guy.
know he's a cop?
No.
Like, I don't think he really even knows he's a cop.
No.
Yeah, he's zero
donuts for that
yeah,
guy.
he's an idiot.
I just can't imagine. He's not much better than Trooper Paul. Right?
I'm in awe. I can't even believe there's a cop that's literally standing in a dead body and does nothing, doesn't write down a single thing anybody says, doesn't knock on a door of the lawn of the house of the guy's laying on. I don't know what to say.
Listen, we log plates.
We log everything.
Every plate that's in the area, we log it. Hey, log this plate, log this plate.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if somebody's involved with that vehicle.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That way it's at least in CAD.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So if homicide detectives pull the CAD log, because they pull that CAD log,
Pull it.
right? Because everything that we say is on that. And
Yep.
that's information that they can go and investigate on.
Yep.
Right? Hey, what were you doing at this address at this time? Oh,
Yep.
you were visiting from where? Okay.
Yep.
Cross him off.
Yep. And
right?
a good dispatcher might even, if it's slow, she might even, when you log the plates, she might even run them real quick.
Yep.
Hey, just so you know, because and she won't tell you if it comes back to somebody normal, but if it's something really bad,
Yep.
she'll hit you. Hey, 344, just be advised that plate comes back to, or it comes back stolen, or
Are you
whatever.
clear? Are you clear for traffic?
Yeah, are you clear for traffic? Meaning, I'm going to tell you something bad. Make
better
sure you're
walk
away from people.
Yep.
Because I got a great story for that, but that's another time.
So this officer Mullaney is a rookie cop.
Okay, he's the rookie.
Okay,
All right.
he's the rookie cop, and I want you to pay attention to how he answers questions.
Okay.
Okay, cool. You'll see. You'll get what I'm saying. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Well,
I didn't see Seraf or Mullaney.
Well, Steve.
So.
You and I have never met before, correct?
Correct.
We've never spoken about this case?
No.
Is it fair to say that when you were dispatched to 34 Fairview Road on January 29th of 2022, you were a part-time officer at that point?
No, I was full-time.
When did you start at the Canton Police Department?
July.
Did you just say part-time?
Did you start as a part-time officer?
I did.
What the fuck?
You actually became full-time in August.
You got me there.
2021.
Correct, sir. Yes.
All right, so you had been full-time at that point for about 6 months when you received this call, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's fair to say
Part-time cops.
that you were the
Never even heard of that.
officer on scene?
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Too young to be corrupt yet.
A couple months on.
Testified that
Excited to be a cop, have that shiny badge on his chest.
Fairview from the Cedar Crest side, correct?
Yes.
34 Fairview Road is much closer to the Cedar Crest side than it is to the Chapman side, correct?
Correct.
And when you take a left on Cedar Crest to enter Fairview Road, 34 Fairview is the second house on the right. Does that make sense?
From Cedar Crest, yes.
Yes.
Now we know where it is.
And you were quickly
We'll have to go there one day.
surmising that whatever action was taking place there was taking place on the front lawn of 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes, sir.
And one of the first things that you saw was there appeared to be a woman giving CPR to somebody on the ground.
Yeah, yes.
You didn't know who that woman was at the time, correct?
No, sir.
But you later learned her identity.
Yes, I don't recall which female it was that was given CPR, though.
Okay. So you don't recall that it was Karen Reed who was giving CPR to John O'Keefe?
I don't know who it was.
At some point,
at her.
you came in contact with Karen Reed, correct? While you were
The woman with blood on her face.
Not direct contact, but I was on scene while she was there.
I mean, you were there until about 8 a.m., correct?
Yeah.
He's a rookie cop, dude.
How do you not have contact with?
Shortly after 6
Well, because Seraf was talking to her the whole time.
for approximately 2 hours, correct?
Yes.
You were there when Karen Reed was there when you showed up, correct?
Yes.
She left and she came back to the scene, correct?
Yes.
And you were there when she came back, correct?
Yes, sir.
So with regard to your contact with her, she certainly was within eyeshot, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you actually, at some points, were closer to her than you are to me right now, correct?
Yeah.
How close did you get to her?
10 feet.
All right. With the court's permission, I'd like to walk toward you and have you stop me when I'm at the point when you were at your
Objection.
closest to Karen Reed. What can I do that,
Objection.
Your Honor?
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Right there.
Okay. And when you were this close to her, you're estimating this to be about 10 feet, correct?
Sure.
When you were this close to her, was there anything blocking your view of her face?
Not that I recall.
All right. You noticed, obviously, that she had blood on her face, correct?
I did not notice that, no.
You didn't notice
Pause that for a
she
sec,
had
Steve.
blood in her hair.
Let me guess. This guy was trained by Seraf.
I don't even want to know, dude. I don't even want to know.
Was this guy trained by Seraf? Because you got a lady doing CPR. You didn't make contact. You're at a scene where there's only three cops. The woman who's got the blood on her, bro, that's Karen. I mean, come on, man. When we go to a scene, we're all over it. We're not just standing in one spot. We're all over it.
Okay.
And you always, hey, go talk to him real quick. Let's talk to him, and we switch.
Let me say this, okay? He's a rookie cop.
Still got a job to do.
I get that. But when you go to a dynamic scene, you kind of get tunnel vision because it's something that you're not really ready for. You develop the ability to see everything around you the longer you're on patrol.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So he's going to have a little bit of tunnel vision.
Probably his first dead body.
A little overwhelmed.
Probably his first dead body.
So his sensory system is kind of shutting down a little bit, not picking up everything that it needs to pick up. Okay? And that's what they tell you in the academy, right?
Is that before or after they beat the crap out of you?
Right. Exactly. After they put you in the morgue. But the thing is that they'll tell you you're going to see tunnel vision.
Well, yeah.
See over it, right? Try to. I'm thinking. I try to put myself in his shoes, right? When I'm watching this video, I'm trying to think, how could that happen? He probably experienced a bit of tunnel vision because it was a dynamic scene, and you know what I'm saying? Okay,
maybe.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Steve.
I did not notice that.
You did notice that she was absolutely hysterical.
Yes.
She was completely distraught.
Yes.
She appeared to be in shock.
Yes.
And there was a contrast between that demeanor that you observed with regard to Karen Reed and the demeanor of one of the other women on scene, Jennifer McCabe. Was there not?
And Bethsai.
Can you kind of explain further?
Sure. Karen Reed was screaming, correct?
Yes.
She was yelling, correct?
Yes.
She was hysterical and distraught, correct?
Yes.
Jennifer McCabe was not.
Who wasn't? Of the three women.
You had more contact, direct contact with Jennifer McCabe that morning, correct?
Yes.
Of course you did.
And you spoke to Jennifer McCabe for a good 2 minutes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Face to face.
Yes, sir.
You were closer to Jennifer McCabe than you ever got to Karen Reed, correct?
Yes.
You were able to observe her demeanor.
Yes.
You were able to hear her tone of voice.
Yes.
You were able to hear how loudly she was speaking, correct?
Yes.
You were able to hear how quickly she was speaking.
Yes.
During those 2 minutes that you were face to face closer to Jennifer McCabe, she was not screaming, correct?
Correct.
She was not yelling.
Correct.
She was not hysterical.
Correct.
She was not distraught.
Yes.
She was calm.
Correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll allow it, but let's move on.
She was
Jennifer
calm
McCabe didn't
because
have any
she
blood
knew
on
what was
her
going
face,
on.
correct?
No.
And you didn't see any blood in Jennifer McCabe's hair, correct?
No.
Now, with regard to what you heard Karen Reed scream that morning, I just want to make sure I get your testimony correct. I believe on direct examination, you stated that she kept repeating two phrases, one being, "Is he dead?" and the second being, "That's my boyfriend," correct?
Yes.
Both fine statements to make.
And how many times do you think that she repeated those two phrases?
It's quite a bit, more than 10.
Okay, like almost too many times to count, really.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And each time she said, "Is he dead?" what was her tone of voice?
Screaming very loudly.
Each time she said, "Is that my boyfriend?" what was her tone of voice?
Same.
Normal.
You got
She's
there
freaking
not
out.
long after Officer Seraf, correct?
Correct.
In any of during the time, let me strike that, during the time that you were on scene and you heard Karen Reed screaming and yelling in this distraught and hysterical manner, you never once heard her say, "I did it," correct?
I did not.
You never once heard her say, "It's my fault," correct?
I did not.
You never once heard her say, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him," correct?
I did not.
If you had heard any of those statements, you would have recognized that those would have been important to note, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you would have noted those in your police report, obviously, correct?
Yes.
Because you know that
Maybe.
when you're drafting a police report, you want to include all the important details, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you want to be precise and accurate, correct?
Yes.
And so you didn't put those statements in your report because you never heard those statements come out of Karen Reed's mouth.
Yes, sir.
Now, while you were on scene, at some point in time, you were asked to participate in a search for evidence on that front lawn, were you not?
I was standing by. I didn't directly search for anything that I recall.
All right, and when you say you were standing by
Pause that, Steve.
the area where...
Why do you think he wasn't allowed to participate in it?
Because he's a rookie.
Exactly.
He's the bitch boy.
Yeah.
Hey, stand here, don't say nothing, don't do nothing.
He probably doesn't even know what was going on, honestly.
He probably had no idea.
No idea.
He probably had no idea. Wouldn't surprise me him walking in totally blind. Tell him.
Yep.
Because now it's another person they gotta talk to, they gotta protect, or get got. You know, you gotta be unalived.
All right. Not that they would go that extreme, but who knows? But have you noticed his responses? Short, direct. I mean, he's not lying, dude.
No.
He's telling the truth. How he saw it.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't know much because they didn't tell him anything.
Yep.
But there's a reason Jen was completely calm and Karen was freaking out.
For sure.
And we all know that.
Right, for sure. You know.
Where John O'Keefe's body had been, correct? And how close were you to that area?
I was like right off the curb at that point on the street.
How many feet from where the body had been?
10 to 12 feet. 15
Okay, so
you didn't go
maybe
up to the
about
body?
Same distance as when I walked toward you, around that distance?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You got to look at the body.
How much time did you spend?
Oh, by that time the
around
body's
that
gone.
distance
They're doing a
from
search
where
for.
John O'Keefe's body had been?
I don't recall.
You were there for 2 hours, correct?
Yes.
So is it fair to say that you were sort of in and around that area multiple times during that 2 hours?
Yes.
Did you ever see anybody put up any crime scene tape at all?
I don't recall that.
You recall other officers sort of searching that area, correct?
Yes.
And while you were near that area, you were certainly paying attention to it, correct?
Yes.
Did you see officers use any equipment to clear some of the snow in that area?
Yes, sir.
What did you see?
Hair dryers.
There was a leaf blower.
Where did that leaf blower come from?
I don't know.
Who had the leaf blower?
I believe it was Lieutenant Gallagher.
Mr. Tape.
When did Lieutenant Gallagher arrive on scene?
About 45 minutes after I did, approximately. I don't recall the exact time.
And how big was that leaf blower?
Not too big.
Was it handheld or was it something that you pushed?
Handheld.
And who used the leaf blower?
Lieutenant Gallagher.
At what area or on what area did he use that leaf blower?
The front lawn.
And would that have been around the area where John O'Keefe's body had been?
Yes.
And you were watching him as he did that, correct?
Yes.
What other officers were in that area sort of watching what was going on or participating in the search for what was going on?
I don't necessarily recall where everybody was, but I believe it would be Sergeant Link and Sergeant Good.
And they were superior officers, correct?
Correct.
And you understood that these brother officers of yours were looking for evidence, right?
Yes.
They were looking for clues about potentially what had happened to John O'Keefe, correct?
Yes.
And you were paying attention too as they were doing their work, correct?
Yes.
You were looking for anything that might have been out of place, correct?
Yes.
If there was something large there that didn't appear to, be appropriate for a front lawn, you would have made note of that, correct?
Yes.
And if there was something small there, you would have still made note of that if it didn't appear to belong on a front lawn, correct?
Yes.
At any point in time, either before or after the leaf blower was taken out by Lieutenant Gallagher, did you see 45 pieces of bright red, black, and clear plastic pieces scattered all over the scene?
I did not.
Did you find even or see even one piece of broken plastic?
I did not.
You see him look at Lollipop? He's like, oh shit.
Sorry, man. I'm telling the truth.
Yep.
He's like, I'm telling the truth. I don't give a shit what you do to me. I'm telling the truth.
When you came to the scene, John O'Keefe was still lying on the ground, correct?
Yes.
See?
Did you see
We went
whether or
to
not
the scene.
there were any blankets on scene?
No.
But you got to check out the body. Flashlight, see what's up, see how.
Did you know?
See what's wrong with him,
the
where
woman
his
on
marks are.
scene had a sister who lived in that very house?
I did not.
When you were speaking with Jennifer McCabe, at any point, did you learn whether she had actually gone into that house at all?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you see Jennifer McCabe approach that house at any point when you were on scene?
No.
Were you alerted at any point by anyone that she went into that house while you were on scene?
No.
She did. We saw it on camera.
Did you see Jennifer McCabe come out of that house with blankets or anything else that might comfort John O'Keefe?
No.
How's long to die in the
What was
cold?
your state of mind regarding whether there were any first responders in that house?
I wasn't aware of that.
Nobody told you?
No.
He doesn't need to know.
He's not in their circle of trust.
Yeah.
You had testified that at one point you saw Karen Reed being escorted into a motor vehicle,
Yes.
and that was one of the women on scene, her motor vehicle?
Yes, it was either that or a cruiser.
All right.
Both kind of in the same area.
But you'll agree with me, at no point in time did you see Karen Reed and Jennifer McCabe in a vehicle together?
Not that I recall, no.
And at no point in time did you ever hear Karen Reed ask Jennifer McCabe to Google anything?
No.
I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
So he didn't hear much, do much,
I've no
see
further
much.
questions. Thank you, officer.
Well, there you go. That's why.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to put into
He
it.
didn't really do, say, see anything.
Yeah.
Really. He just showed up and stood there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which most rookies do, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. When we get rookies, especially their first dead body, they're usually kind of like,
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
like staring at it, like, yeah, that's a dead person.
Yeah.
But you need to look, you need to get into it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You need to find out, what, maybe you can see, does he have gunshot wounds? Is he
Yeah.
a nice stabbing?
Yeah.
Was he, you know, is his head smashed in? Or, you know, there's a million things.
You
need
gain
to- need to
experience
look
from
at.
that.
Yeah, you need to look at the body. Because you can, and when if medical's working on him, you can, again, sit there with your flashlight and watch, and so you can see, so you can document, all right, you know, he's got a black eye on his left eye, he's got cuts on his right arm, little things.
We used to eavesdrop on AMR.
Yeah, well, AMR will tell us.
Right? This guy got the shit knocked out of him, or
Yep.
he looks like he got ran over.
Yep.
Right? They know. They can tell the difference.
They can tell because they see it even more than us. So
Yeah.
you can ask them, hey, what do you think that is?
Yep.
And they'll tell you.
Yep.
I think it's this, that, you know.
Yep.
And they'll probably be right.
Yep.
More than they are wrong.
Yep, I agree.
You know, like some people said, it was the marks on John's arm was you know, scratches from the car, and I'm thinking through a sweater. I've never seen anybody get scratched like that from a car. No. Now, when you put it next to 7 pictures of dog bites, it looks exactly like a dog bite. You know.
Chloe, poor Chloe.
I know.
So, that's it, man. That's the first responders, buddy. First arriving officers to the scene.
That was good.
Right?
That was good.
First guy was a shit show. Seraf?
Yeah, Seraf is not good, sir. Not good.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
you did a crappy job.
Yeah.
He's probably, is he still employed? I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
He's probably promoted. Probably sergeant, lieutenant now. So. All right.
Good video.
Good video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe.
Hit that button.
Hit the like button.
The like button.
Steve says hit it, so we say hit it.
Yeah.
We don't know what it does, but
We do what Steve tells us to do.
All right. We have more coming your way. Stay tuned. So, thanks for watching.
For those who are still serving, have a safe tour duty, please.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.